to explore it, nothing too serious. Forget the world for a minute, before we know it, the future's the past. Seize the moment while we're in it, hold on to each other as long as it lasts. I don't care about forever, 'cause sometimes forever is over so fast. Hush, hush, baby, come on, here with me, I want for you to go. No need to worry, there is no hurry to stay.
It's the 2K Sports Pregame Show.
NBA regular season opener for a couple of teams. Thank you all for tuning in. So happy you're here. I'm ecstatic that you're here. And
I miss you too,
and
Ernie.
I'm really happy that Kenny and Shaq are here,
I
too.
miss you too, Ernie.
Yeah, me too. Tonight, it'll be the Atlanta Hawks going up against the New York Knicks in New York. Checking out New York. They struggled in this matchup last season. Only one win for them through 4 games. They'd like to make a statement tonight. And fellas, a new season about to begin. Clean slate. Plenty of hopes and dreams out there. Kenny, how do you spot a new legitimate contender?
I usually look for the team with good balance, where one guy isn't doing everything. One guy can facilitate everything, but he can't do everything. So offense, defense, balance, and they gotta have a big shot maker.
You know, I look for unselfishness, guys playing with each other, mental toughness. No weak-minded team has ever won a championship, Ernie.
How about continuity, too? How about very little changeover from a team that was really good the previous year, may not have gone as far as they wanted, but returning the same bunch?
That helps.
Yeah.
Well said.
Well
Yeah.
said. No need to add anything to that.
Continuity. Yeah. Kevin Harlan knows all about that.
K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
You play it in your system every night now. Not like life or death. I'm a rebel. My poetry's deep. I never felt. Not like half man, half amazing. No doubt. Not like life or death. I'm a rebel. My poetry's deep. I never felt. Not like man, half amazing. No doubt. Not like.
I'm Kevin Harlan, along with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, our terrific analysts, and David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. We've got an Eastern Conference battle ready to get rolling, and this New York crowd wants some love from their Knicks. And this matchup with the Hawks, it's their first meeting of the season. They could only manage a single win in 4 tries against these guys last year.
Yeah, and a 4-game season series between these two. Both will be looking to set the tone tonight.
And let's hope for a heated matchup in this first game between them, because a close one tonight ensures we'll have 3 more good games down the road.
And before we get underway here, let's check over with David Aldridge, who was able to talk with head coach Jeff Hornacek.
Well, guys, when I asked him what impressed him the most about today's opponent, he immediately referred to the explosiveness on their offense. He said they have so many different ways to hurt you that it's impossible to take away everything. It's just about damage control. He acknowledged they've got a big job to do defensively. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Tonight, 2 teams that like to score out of half-court sets. And, Brent, on that subject, we often talk about the playoffs coming down to great half-court execution. Why do you think that is?
It comes down to preparation, Kevin. You watch so much film. You have several days to prepare for a team that you saw, more than likely 3 or 4 times during the season. And then all of a sudden they're in front of you. As the series goes on, it starts to become less and less about turnovers and missed shots. There's a lot of predictability once you get into the playoffs, and it's about who can make the fewest mistakes. They're normally going to win the series.
Great answer. And so off the tip, it's New York. A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. Schroeder and Bazemore are in the backcourt. Ilyasova out there with Prince, and it's Dedmon in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Shot's good by Lee.
Love how Lee is rising up quickly in the paint, using his speed to get the shot off before the D has a chance to react.
And it's out of bounds to New York. They'll retain possession. On the wing, Hardaway. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Ilyasova. Up top, Porzingis. New York moving it around. And then Hardaway with the dunk.
Well, I like Porzingis there. Could not have taken it by himself, but still has a hand in the hoop.
Ilyasova can't hit.
You can't afford to let guys get comfortable there. The defense somehow avoided that shot from going in.
Here comes with the double team. No good from Lee. So it's the Hawks now. 4-point game. It's tipped. Here's Ilyasova. Here's Dedmon. Just couldn't take the lid off. They had their chances, but came up empty.
Yeah, slow start right now. 5 straight misses to get this one going.
Porzingis on the follow.
Well, Porzingis tireless on that possession there in terms of tracking down the offensive rebound.
And the slam dunk by Bazemore.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. And so it's New York with it, following the bucket by the Hawks. Porzingis can't hit. Lots of room. He gets that one. Bazemore's got his second basket of the night.
Well, once Bazemore gets the ball off the pass, he immediately skies up for the jump shot and nails it. You like to see that kind of assertive, aggressive, confident attitude.
It's Hardaway, that time on the assist by Porzingis. Hardaway has got his second bucket.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Prince's shot is good.
Bucket earned, out-muscling and out-hustling everybody for the rebound.
Pass to Porzingis. Lee outside. Poke loose. On the wing, Lee. There's the triple. That's basket number 2 with his third shot off to a fast 2 for 3.
He's got no problem shooting off the pass, trusting his teammates will get it to him. And his touch has just been a little bit absent this quarter, and he's missing a ton of shots.
Whenever you get a chance to see Porzingis play, Brent, you get a sense of excitement.
He's definitely one of the players in the league that I like to watch, and mostly because I'm interested in the progression of Kristaps Porzingis. When he first came in, it was all about those follow-up highlight dunks on the offensive end where he was throwing things down as putbacks. But now it's about refining his game and becoming more consistent night in and night out.
Here's Ntilikina after the basket by Atlanta. Back to Porzingis, takes a 3. The shot will not fall. And it's the Hawks taking it the other way. Here's Dedmon, and he's fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming up.
No defender is going to have a shot against that kind of play. He's just too tall to stop that close to the rim.
The Hawks shooting their first free throw of the evening.
And they shot their free throws at a measly 73% clip over the course of last season.
Well, from the D-League to dominating defensively, Dwayne Dedmon hustling around.
And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Porzingis with a screen on Schroeder. And Hardaway gets it to go.
I love the fact that Ntilikina is skilled at being a ball mover. He's got a pass-first mentality, and that's winning basketball.
Ilyasova can't hit. The Knicks leading by 5. A 3 from Porzingis. That doesn't go either for Porzingis. The Hawks shooting in this first quarter around 38%. They're looking a bit creaky out there.
Well, he knew how many inches he had over the guy. I mean, let's face it, good decision to just rise up and take the jump shot.
And so here is New York following the bucket by the Hawks. 13 feet away. It's hauled in by Ilyasova.
Yeah, his shot just doesn't seem to be synced up right now. Here's hoping he finds it soon because his team is really going to need that production tonight.
And here are the Knicks now. Pass to Hernan Gomez. Now Porzingis, defended by Ilyasova. Puts it up from 17. That's short off the rim.
He can't make a thing out there right now, guys. If he keeps this up, don't be surprised if his team gives up this lead.
They get the rebound. Banked in off the glass. 6 points for Prince.
Ooh, excellent work getting that close to the basket. Got to be happy getting those type of shots.
And Prince comes to help. Here's Lee. Rebound by the Hawks.
I give the defense a C+ on that possession, but still, I'm sure he's upset he missed.
Snatched up. Prince's shot is good.
How about he has yet to miss? 4-4 to start.
Knicks trail by 3. Shooter comes with the double team. And there's the foul. And it's on Taurean Prince. That is his first foul of the game. Enes Kanter's checked in for New York. McDermott comes in for Lee. And Atlanta will go for a different look here. Muscala, he's checked in for Dwayne Dedmon. Collins comes in for Ilyasova. Bellinelli, he's checked in for Kent Bazemore. And it's Malcolm Delaney in for Dennis Schroeder.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
Well, it fires up your teammates and the fans when you make plays like that out in the open court and explosive.
Scooped up. Kanter. And that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Yes, that goes in.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
New York's gone 2 of 5 from three-point land here in the first quarter.
It just feels like at this point the Knicks know they need to build around Kristaps Porzingis for their future. Best player for them on both ends of the floor, as he's a great rim protector. He's very young, connecting with New York City. There's some hope there.
Here's Ntilikina following the bucket by the Hawks. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist.
And you can see he's been working on that post game. Ntilikina showing some skill set down on that low block, using that length to his advantage.
With Porzingis, he truly is the star the Knicks were waiting to draft.
Well, you might go all the way back to the draft when Patrick Ewing ended up putting on that New York Knicks ball cap. Maybe even Mark Jackson, who ended up as the Rookie of the Year as the 18th pick for the New York Knicks. They do have their centerpiece moving forward. Kristaps Porzingis is a very unique talent in the NBA. Really the pressure on now to build around that guy and get back to contending basketball in the Eastern Conference.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here.
Yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity to kind of regroup and discuss ways to maximize these possessions.
And therein lies the trick, discussing ways to be aggressive but not committing turnovers.
Different look for New York. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Porzingis, and it's Baker in for Tim Hardaway Jr. From beyond the arc, but they'll get another chance. McDermott dishes to Kanter. The feed to O'Quinn. The second chance effort, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And a look now at the 4 areas where shots can come from. The paint, mid-range, and shots from deep, all broken down for the Knicks.
And clearly, this is a squad that makes its living in the paint. Very few teams are as determined to get the ball inside as much as they are. They aren't going to settle for jump shots. They're going to continue to pound it down low.
He misses the free throw. Watch Kyle O'Quinn play, and you see a player who's a solid option off the bench.
Well, at a Norfolk State, Kyle O'Quinn has the kind of size that you would want for that position. I'm not sure necessarily about a skill set as a stretch four out there, but he brings great energy, a nose for rebounding, and comes in and gives you consistent effort.
Knicks trail by 11. Kicks to Cantor. The pass to Baker. There's a screen by Cantor. Some nice passing by New York here. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Let's take this chance to see which of last season's teams had the most second chance points in the league. In third, the Knicks.
This was a team that was really savvy when it came to getting position under the boards and then getting those offensive putbacks.
Such a big guy, Cantor, but also incredibly lean. At the NBA Combine, for instance, he tested out at 6% body fat, an extraordinarily low number for a man of his size.
To the paint. That shot, no good. And it's the Hawks taking it the other way. Finished off the break.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Here's Ntilikina. He feeds it to O'Quinn. Pass to Cantor. Ripped away. Muscala with the ball. He's against Cantor. That one goes in.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Knicks trail by 13. We've got 28 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Here's Prince, and he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. You see it now on the scoreboard.
Just incredible flow offensively. Everyone's doing their part. Let's see if they can sustain this early momentum.
And there's the foul. And it's on Taurean Prince. That's his 3rd foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. For New York, they had shot 75% at the line tonight, going 3 for 4. And he makes both free throws. We've got 13 seconds left to play here in the first.
Yeah, pounding it inside once again. They have taken over this game physically.
Well, it's so nice to have the early lead. This is where you want to stick with what's working until somebody shuts you down.
So as we end the first quarter, already a double-digit ball game. It's Atlanta up by 15. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this.
Voila. 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 Yeah. Voila.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And a very convincing performance here from the Hawks so far.
And boy, I tell you, it didn't take them long to find their rhythm. Strong offense through 1.
A nice game plan coming in, and right now sticking to it. It's a nice lead that they have.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. And so in the game for the Hawks, Mike Muscala out there with Collins. Then there's Bellinelli, and it's Delaney in at the point guard position. So often nowadays in transition, Brent, we'll see a guy get to the rim, then kick it out to someone standing at the three-point line. What's your feeling on that?
Kevin, who's at the three-point line?
Well, let's say Brent Barry's out there.
I'm more than okay with that. You know, so some of the guys, Kevin, in the new age are running to the three-point line, and as the ball gets to the rim, the modern-day fast break is not your classic 3-on-2, and we're going to take the wings coming in, and we're going to feed one guy for a layup. That first available wide-open three-point shot, whether 2 seconds into the possession or 12 is something coaches are willing to live with.
Problem is, though, sometimes that big wants to run and does run, but you don't reward him, and then maybe they don't run the next time down.
That's exactly right, Kevin. You have a big guy working that hard. Problem is, in today's game, some of those big guys are also running to that three-point line.
You're exactly right. Here's Ntilikina. Another steal.
And that's sort of a picture of what not to do on those last 2 possessions. They're being way too loose with the ball.
The tenacity, the attention to detail, it's why these guys are in complete control.
It seems like they've been at it on both ends tonight. Tremendous all-around play from them. Has them up quite a bit here.
Now, here's O'Quinn. Baker kicks to Kuzminskis. It's stolen by Muscala. Here's Prince. And the jumper off target to finish the break.
A bad shot there. Trust is lacking. You got to be willing to make the extra pass.
Yep, just too anxious to try and make something happen out there. This is about the team, not about you.
Here's Delaney. Here's Collins. And it's O'Quinn with the rebound. Baker passes to McDermott. Ball's knocked loose. Here's Kuzminskis, guarded by Prince. New York moving the ball around. Shot clock at 5. O'Quinn can't hit.
And that was an easy one there, just a missed opportunity.
Yeah, sometimes everything can go right, but the shot doesn't go down. Nothing there is automatic.
And one thing that's a constant for Atlanta, great activity defensively.
Well, there's a system offensively for the Hawks, but there is a system of rules for them also defensively. So they did a good job of being in good position, setting themselves up to defend plays, to get steals and deflections and draw charges. And they did a great job last year with the addition of Dwight Howard being a better rebounding team. That's something they need to try to hang their hat on this year as well.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
And one thing they'll discuss are their defensive rotations. The other is in the matchups.
We're seeing very little help defense on the inside, and even when there is help, it's been ineffective.
He's checked in for Collins.
Now taking a look at some stats for Dennis Schroeder. Last year, getting it done. Averaged about 18 points a game, 6 assists and 3 rebounds. And just look at those scoring totals. He's been doing what he does best, putting points on the board.
His instincts naturally are to score the basketball. That ability to find the creases in the defense is something you just don't teach, and it's awesome.
And Dennis Schroeder plays the game with a real flair, tremendous confidence in his abilities.
Sometimes that gets him in a bit of trouble too, Kevin. You got to minimize some of the energy that you put into the antics that are happening around the game and put that kind of energy back into the game. But still a talented young point guard and a guy who wants to measure himself up against the best in the league every night.
The Knicks making a switch here. Hernan Gomez is checked in.
And Dennis Schroeder, a full-time starter for the first time just last season, upped his scoring average to around 18 points a game, but they really turned the keys over to what it was that they were going to do behind Dennis Schroeder and his ability. At the same time, it was the best shooting percentages he had in his very young career.
Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Kuzminskis in the corner. They need this one, and it's finished off by Noah as he lays it in.
Well, Noah's just relentless down there. You're going to have to work all game long when he's on the floor.
Muscala, the shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Schroeder's got 3 assists now in this one. New York's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. And Schroeder can score. He also averaged about 6 assists a game last season.
Well, the balance between scoring and passing in the first season as Schroeder being a first-time starter for his ball club is something that he needs to work on. That tends to point, Kevin, towards leadership, and the Hawks would like to see more of that.
Here's Baker. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Here's Schroeder, throws down the breakaway jam.
Well, once you get the ball to Dennis Schroeder in the open floor, it's usually game over for the opposition, like what I saw there.
Pass to Baker. Lets it go with the 3. It's hauled in by Ilyasova. Ilyasova's got his 5th rebound in this one. It's good from Schroeder on the assist by Bellinelli. And that's now 6 points for Dennis Schroeder. Baker kicks to Hernan Gomez. Shoots the 3. And the Knicks miss again. And here's Atlanta. Outpacing them right now in a 15-2 run. They get it again. Schroeder, the stupendous finish in traffic. Schroeder's got 8 here in the quarter.
Well, if you read the scouting report on Schroeder, he likes to get into the basket as close as possible because he's usually good from there.
Now here's Lee. 7 points in the game. That shot a little beyond his normal range. Baker's got his first 3 points of the game. For Atlanta, they've gone 6 of 10 from the floor here in the second quarter. Bounces high off the rim and drops.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
Lee kicks it to Noah. Passes to Kuzminskis. Good, and a nice assist from Noah.
That's still something that Noah does very well. Seeing the floor, keeping his head up. Got to play with your head on a swivel. Noah does that.
Took him no time at all on that one. Muscala's got 12 in the game.
Yeah, it's not so much just the made shots, it's the consistency of the made shots that's got his team the lead.
New York calls timeout. Brent, 15th overall is where you were drafted, right in the middle of the first round. A very nice place to be. Talk about the nerves waiting for your name to be finally called by the commissioner on that podium.
Well, Kevin, I wasn't nervous, and I'll tell you why. Actually, I was nervous, and it was more about the captain landing the plane. You and I have shared this story, and I'll share it with you again. During that draft, I was actually on an airplane and did not see one moment of the NBA draft in 1996. So my biggest nerves were that the pilot was going to bring the plane down safely, and then I watched the draft on VCR about 2 hours later.
No kidding.
That's the truth.
Wow.
So the best part about that, Kevin, I'll tell you this, is the fast forward button.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't the first pick. We could fast forward that, or the second, or the third, and we got to that 15th pick, and what an honor to have my name called in the first round of the NBA draft.
An honor indeed. A different look for New York. Porzingis is coming in for Joakim Noah. And Tim Hardaway Jr. subbed in for Kuzminskis. And the Hawks making a change here as well. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Mike Muscala. Now here's Lee. He has 7. Screened by Porzingis. And there's the foul. It's on Dwayne Dedmon. That'll be his second foul of the game. The Knicks making a switch here. Cantor's checked in. Porzingis, that's a 2. The shot, no good. And it's the Hawks taking it the other way.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control. I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
Lee kicks to Cantor. He dishes it to Hardaway. It's deflected. Here's Porzingis. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a 3-point play.
A little shiftiness there in Porzingis' game as he welcomed the contact and then converted on top of it.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
And how about last season? Made about 79% of his attempts, so those are really quality numbers.
Stolen by Cantor. On the wing, Hardaway. Bellinelli is covering. No good from Lee.
He sunk that 3 in the first, but yet to make another one.
And Ilyasova kicks to Dedmon. Here's Bazemore. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Bazemore's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
Bazemore seems to be locked in. Even when there's an aggressive defense around him, not getting rattled.
And a wide open look for Lee. And he's good on the 3-ball.
Oh, that's some fancy ball handling right there. Since when does he take guys off the dribble? And slams it home and gets some camera time on the end of it.
He did. He spent a while up on that rim, didn't he? The Knicks shooting around 40% from the floor here. And that one is stuffed right through.
Dedmon's a great athlete and bringing some verticality on the offensive end.
And it's the Knicks with the ball. Their next game playing at home as the Nets come into town. And that game is the second of 2 straight at home. Nice job coming off that screen. Lee's got 13 points.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc. And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Poked loose. A solo fast break. Here's Dedmon. The big dunk at the end of the break.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
Well, it fires up your teammates and the fans when you make plays like that out in the open court and explosive.
Hardaway for 3. Rebound, Atlanta. Schroeder's got his 3rd rebound tonight.
And we haven't seen them get to the line as much here in the second quarter. They might be settling a tad too much offensively.
Pretty clear that for the New York Knicks, the next best big thing in the city is Kristaps Porzingis. This franchise knows that he's the future and also the present, so he'll be the star that they build around in years to come.
So for the Knicks, McDermott's checked in for Lee, and it's Ntilikina in for Baker. Then for the Hawks, Collins checked in for Ilyasova. Taurean Prince comes in for Marco Bellinelli. And it's Malcolm Delaney in for Dennis Schroeder. Here's Ntilikina. Screened by Porzingis. Outside Hardaway. Off target from 3-point range. And for KP taking over as the best player on his team, Brent, he's probably earned it. Fantastic play from him, and he has far surpassed expectations.
Well, I think he showed some great signs last year. In his first year, his rookie campaign, he really struggled coming down the stretch. And I think whatever he did in the offseason to prepare himself for his sophomore year got him through the season much more consistently. But how lucky were the Knicks to get this guy, and we'll see if he ends up becoming the cornerstone of what they do in the future.
Kyle O'Quinn is checked in for Cantor.
As soon as Bazemore sees he has a chance to run in transition, he gets to his spot and takes full advantage.
Outside, Porzingis to the middle. He's looking for Hardaway and finds him. New York, no good that time either.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
Delaney gets himself open and drills it.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
The Hawks, another fast break opportunity here. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
And it's about the tempo, guys. It favors them, and just look at that score.
Yeah, I'm a little bit exhausted here trying to keep up with these guys, and I'm just watching. And they always attempt to wear you out.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And converted more than 4 out of every 5 free throw attempts last year. So just solid at the line.
Here's Ntilikina. They get the rebound.
Yeah, momentum right now is against them. They're just going to have to figure out a way to ride this one out.
Got to be some consideration here for a different rotation because the matchups right now just not favorable.
And so it's Atlanta way out in front. Their lead at 38 points as we close out the quarter. Their defense has been active and effective. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Mike Budenholzer. Your defense has been very good. Why has that happened?
Well, I think our guys are committed on that end. Everybody's active. Everybody's covering for each other. And we know how important it is.
Mike, we'll see if it continues in the next quarter. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you, and stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. After 2 quarters, it's Atlanta out in front. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Kenny, what's your take?
Well, they were dishing out dimes left and right, and the guys were finishing strong. As a team, they seem to be always thinking, always looking for the best shot. If they keep sharing the ball this way, the second half could be more lopsided than the first.
Shaq, what did you think about New York?
The first thing to say is, what's up with the turnovers? Jeez. You can live with some missed shots and stuff like that, but you can't keep turning the ball over. It's crushing for a team. It just saps all your confidence when you play a half like that, Ernie. Ugh.
And time now to send you back down to the floor with Kevin Harlan. We'll see you later.
The skyline of Midtown Manhattan so beautifully lit up tonight as we welcome you back to New York City. Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. Atlanta shooting 64%. Beautiful all-around play by this offense. And one issue that has come up for the Knicks in their quest for success, Brent, is their lack of continuity.
Maybe one problem, Kevin, is that the New York Knicks organization feels just a bit too cliquey between ownership and then management, the coaching staff, and that there just hasn't been the kind of connectivity that you need in order to make things grow organically. It's been very forced in New York City, and until they find that right combination, the struggles can continue.
Porzingis and Hernan Gomez are together down low. Ntilikina out there with Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's Lee in at the 3 spot. They're the group for Jeff Hornacek starting the second half. And that replay presented by Under Armour showing us the fantastic steal that led to that fast break finish. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Here's Ntilikina. It's stolen by Schroeder. Now,
you saw that. Bazemore does a good job of not getting thrown off balance there. Keeps his focus even after getting hit.
Second half rolling along now. About a minute played here. Over in the corner, Lee buries it from three-point range. Lee's got 16.
And until someone stops him, he's just going to continue to keep firing from distance.
Yeah, we got to be a DEFCON 1 here, because at this point, he is so dialed in, you got to get him off his spots.
And where's the fight defensively? I mean, you know you need stops to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, down by double digits, failing to shut down the lane. It has been a rough night.
Ilyasova hits the bucket.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
In the corner, Hardaway with it. That 3 off the mark.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
And that one's good. Schroeder.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
Here's Lee after the made shot from Dennis Schroeder. Porzingis passes to Hardaway. Knocked loose. Out of bounds. Atlanta takes possession. And a moment here to look at where the shots have been coming from for the Hawks.
Well, just look at the cluster in the middle of the paint. That right there tells you all you need to know about how they have built the lead they have. They are playing with more intensity on the offensive side of the ball, and it's the difference in the game right now. You have to love how they've approached this matchup.
Yeah, tonight his shot's been a bit off, but still, they lead the game.
Pass to Ntilikina. To the inside. Nice shot by Porzingis. Porzingis has got 4 points this quarter. Oh, no, he may have gotten injured right there. He's in a lot of pain.
And this would be a terrible blow. Hopefully it's less serious than it looks.
Well, looking at his face right there, you can tell he's in a lot of pain, and there's a lot of trepidation right now on that team's sideline.
And the Hawks making a change here. Collins is checked in. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Atlanta again missing. Knicks have gone 3 of 5 to start the second half, developing a nice rhythm out there. Outside, Porzingis takes it from 10. No good off the back of the rim.
Pretty surprised he missed that shot. The defense was decent, but not really effective.
It's deflected. An even 3-on-3 break. No one near him. Ntilikina can't hit.
And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, maybe lazy play calling or just going through the motions on that possession. This often leads to a bad shot.
And Courtney Lee, one of the more reliable pros in the NBA.
That might not sound like a lot, Kevin, but coaches are always looking for consistency, things they can rely on from any given player, and Courtney Lee has done that. A two-guard that can defend, can knock down some threes, and isn't going to get outside of himself all that often.
Bazemore misses. New York's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Courtney Lee is on the wing. Pass to Ntilikina. Gomez kicks to Lee. No good with the triple. For Atlanta, they've gone 7 of 13 in the third quarter so far, just above 50%.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Ball's knocked loose. Shooter comes with the double team. The wide open look here for Porzingis. Drills it from outside. Porzingis has got 7 now in this quarter.
He can be just lethal from the perimeter. Even though he didn't get good looks in the first quarter, will that make right there? That can change things.
The execution on point. Just terrific timing on these passes.
I really like the idea that his teammates are waiting until he's in great spots to finish off the possessions. Everything's working.
Rebound, Atlanta. Now the Hawks moving it the other way. Here's Schroeder. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. Schroeder's got 16.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
Outside, Porzingis. Here's Ntilikina. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
And Frank Ntilikina out of France, played pro ball in Germany, and a lot of fans in the U.S. might not be as familiar with him. But for NBA execs and scouts, that's their job. Ntilikina has a game worthy of their attention.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Joakim Noah is checked in for Gomez. Cantor comes in for Porzingis. And it's Kuzminskis in for Courtney Lee. Bellinelli, he's checked in for the Hawks. Malcolm Delaney comes in for Dennis Schroeder. And the Knicks with possession here. Following the bucket by the Hawks. Here's Kuzminskis. Traps in the tray. Kuzminskis has got his second bucket tonight. In a draft stocked with point guards, Ntilikina's court vision, Greg, might be the best of them all.
I mean, he's a true, pure point guard. At the same time, a good shooter. The length to defend wings, so that versatility makes him one of the more valuable prospects.
Baker, he's checked in for the Knicks. It's picked off. One-on-one fast break. Here's Collins. And there's the bucket. Staying with it on the offensive glass, getting it done. Collins has got 6 points in the quarter. New York's gotten the three-pointer to fall to the tune of 50% here in the third quarter. They've made 3 of 6. And Prince comes to help. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Knicks will retain possession.
All right, a chance to check out the stats for Hardaway. Some last season stats for him. He was around 14 points a game last year, 3 rebounds and 2 assists. And he's really been pulling his weight. He's had a hand in some big plays here recently.
I think you look across the board right now, and he's just doing a much better job. The numbers bear that out.
2 on the clock, and it's out of bounds to New York. They'll retain possession. McDermott's checked in for Kuzminskis. McDermott for 3. Rebound by the Hawks. Collins has got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And we've seen coaches that yell. You've seen some that show no emotion and everything in between. In your opinion, what's the perfect mental makeup for an NBA coach?
I don't think, Kevin, there's any exact science to what coaching can be. And I think the best coaches just have an innate ability to know when to push buttons, how to push buttons, and to do it on an individual level. There are many times that a coach can make the biggest impact with his player, Kevin, taking him aside and having conversations rather than doing everything in front of the team. And I think the best coaches have a pulse of each player on their team and take the time to go and do that.
What a play there. The hoop plus the harm.
Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Atlanta. For New York, they have made 7 of their last 12 attempts at the line. And Coach Mike Budenholzer, a product of the San Antonio coaching tree, learned a lot in his decade-plus as a lead assistant under Greg Popovich.
Well, I think one key for Mike Budenholzer is that he understands that the importance of the assistant coaching staff can really elevate the level of play for the basketball team, and that each of those coaches has an open-door policy. You can walk in, you can have a conversation, you can gripe a little bit, and then try to build on something so that the team ends up better off because of those open lines of communication.
And stolen by Prince. And Cantor pulls it down. Cantor's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Got a piece of it. And stolen by Prince. For the finish, hammers it home to polish off the break.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at both ends. Steals, fast break buckets, and the other team in scramble mode.
Here's Baker. The dish to Cantor.
Still fresh on the minds is that 2015 season for the Atlanta Hawks when they won 60 games and a trip to the Eastern Conference Finals, but they've never quite recaptured that magic, and most of those players are gone, so time to rebuild.
And New York making a change here. O'Quinn's checked in. 1:22 left here in the third quarter. Here's Dedmon. And it's O'Quinn with the rebound. New York's gone to the three-point shot 8 times already in the second half and hit 4 of them. And Brett, the Hawks' win total steadily diminishing over the last 2 seasons. What do you think happened?
Well, I think there's a couple of things going on. Maybe a team figured out some of what they do systematically, and then they lost a lot of the guys that were part of that team that won so many games a few years ago. So they're going to younger players that don't have as much experience, and younger players that don't have as much experience in the system. Takes a little while to get that stuff back.
Out left to the wing, trying his luck deep, kept alive. Prince with the defensive effort.
You can't miss those kind of looks. The defense seems to be a little nonplussed so far in this one, but he flat out missed it. I think he recognized the size mismatch. No reason to pass out of that. Just rise up and knock it down.
There's Baker after the basket by Atlanta. O'Quinn, the lead pass was put in just the right spot.
Well, he can score on the inside. He's just so big that there's plenty of room for him to carve out.
That pass into the paint, that is a work of art there. Dead on target.
The Knicks shooting 44% on their field goal attempts in quarter 3. Dishes to Cantor. Back to O'Quinn for the 3. The rebound by Prince. Prince has got his 7th rebound here tonight. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Dedmon likes to play physical. He brings it to the game every night.
And this will be his 2nd and 3rd shots at the line here.
And missing opportunities here to extend that lead at the free throw line this half.
Here's Baker. And there's the foul. It's on Dwayne Dedmon. That'll be foul number 5 on him, and due to the bonus, we'll be headed to the free throw line. First free throw is good. He hits one, then misses the 2nd attempt from the free throw line. Feeds it to Muscala. Drains the three-pointer. Muscala's got 15. And so it's Atlanta, able to put on a show for the ages. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. Back to the action after this word. And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. New York shooting 39% from the floor, at their best. Moment here now for an injury report. And now David Aldridge has an update for us on Ersan Ilyasova. David, what's the news there?
Well, guys, I was able to talk with Atlanta's head athletic trainer about his status. After taking a look, he informed me that it doesn't look too bad. He won't return for this game, and depending on the final prognosis, he may miss a number of games before making a return. I'll let you know more details as soon as I find them out. Kevin?
Appreciate that, D.A. Well, it's never easy for a player to go through what he's experiencing, Greg, right now.
But it is something that happens to almost every player. He's strong enough mentally to get through it. This we know.
And sometimes off the court, you work harder than you do preparing for a regular game. He'll get himself ready to go. Look forward to when he gets back on the court.
On the court right now for the Hawks. Luke Babbitt is out there with Bembry. Then it's Miles Plumlee, and it's Dorsey in at the two-guard spot. Here's Baker. During the pre-draft process, Brent, we're seeing more and more players refuse to work out for certain teams and for a variety of reasons. How would you feel about drafting a player who declined to work out for you?
I think I feel much better, Kevin, if I had a tremendous track record and confidence in the scouts that I have deployed throughout the season who've gone out and seen these players, not just once or twice, but 10 or 12 times over, where we could still make the assumption about what this player can do for our organization without having some personal time or the individualized workout. So it's up to your staff to do their diligence.
The Hawks have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Yep, it counts.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
Now here's Beasley. O'Quinn, high post, working on Plumlee. And that one is good by Beasley.
He felt the double team coming, quickly located the open man.
Babbitt from long range. Size again. Bembry shot good. Bembry's got 4 points in the quarter.
And you can see how this game is going. I mean, put a body on somebody.
Right, you're down by double digits. You have to play with maximum intensity just to have a chance to come back. Not seeing it here.
And it's out of bounds. The Knicks able to retain possession here. Kuzminskis, he's checked in for the Knicks. And a change for the Hawks. Schroeder's checked in. It's tipped. 6 to shoot. Baker kicks to Lee. In the corner, it's McDermott. Fast break, the Hawks. Here's Dorsey. There's the killer two-handed slam.
You have two things working here, the turnover and then the excellent finish.
And good job of transitioning end to end there. There was no hesitation.
Lee outside. The putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
A heady play there from Schroeder, zipping the pass to the teammate who had the cleanest look on the possession.
Here's Baker.
Leaping ability is off the charts. Not the biggest power forward, but outstanding and rising up off the ground.
Babbitt, good.
Just a great attack mentality. Got right through the defense to finish strong inside.
Knicks have gone 5 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Strong work at that end of the floor. Kuzminskis kicks to McDermott. Such an adjustment for young players drafted into the NBA, managing money, being accountable to your teammates, to the many things that tug and pull on you. Brent, can the league do anything more to help them through this sometimes uncomfortable process?
I think the league does a great job, Kevin, of addressing these things, not only the NBA, but certainly the Players Association in terms of educating the players. To me, Kevin, as an ex-player, though, the biggest responsibility falls on the veteran players of that team. to take a young player under their wing, to watch what it is that they're doing socially, and to make sure that they set them up for success off the court.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Now the Hawks moving it the other way. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two. It's going to be on Doug McDermott.
I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul. And coming out of the offseason where the Knicks had a really long to-do list, you knew they were going to shake things up and made some moves in free agency and realized they needed to build around Porzingis going forward.
Catching up on the changes for New York, Joakim Noah's checked in for Kyle O'Quinn, and it's Ntilikina in for Lee. And change was needed badly for the Knicks, and they did that starting with the front office.
Yeah, Knicks fans can have a dire outlook at times, but the team still has a solid foundation. It will take some time for the team to become a true contender again, but having players not be at odds with the front office, definitely a good start.
So it's the Knicks now, after the basket by Atlanta. Now here's McDermott. Now the pass to Baker. He kicks it to Noah. 5 to shoot. Here's McDermott. It's blocked. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Knicks will retain possession. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. Brent, when we look at some of the classic rivalries between teams, they don't look as emotionally charged nowadays, at least just by the first appearance. Is there a way to get that back the way it was?
I don't think so, Kevin, just because everything is too accessible for us. It used to be that the distance between those cities seemed to be the exact mileage that the cities were that far apart. Now you can pick up your phone and you feel like if you're in San Francisco, you might as well be in LA.
Sure.
And so it's really hard to get that dynamic to happen. It's got to happen more organically, which is what we've seen between Golden State and Cleveland appearing in the finals the past couple years. That's really helped the league to see those two teams do battle for the league's greatest prize. And not a stellar first half, but he's become an absolute machine scoring the ball in the second.
Noah kicks to McDermott. Pass to Ntilikina. Some nice passing by New York here. He tries for three. Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession. So it's the Hawks now. When this game is done, they'll be off to Miami to take on the Heat. That'll be the second on the road in the midst of this long 4-game road stand.
Nice decision-making by Schroeder there with a terrific assist.
For New York, they've gone 7 of 15 from the floor here in the fourth, right around 46-47%. Pass to Kuzminskis. Tried to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Here's Collins. And it's slammed in by Plumlee.
And guys, isn't it great to see a player who works that hard on the glass at both ends?
Well said, G. That's the way he has built, his reputation. Grinding away 100% effort all the time.
And then uses his explosiveness once he's gathered the rebound to throw it down.
Now Schroeder, after the missed three from Doug McDermott. Plumlee, no luck.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Got a piece of it. Here's Ntilikina. And Brent, every year on average, it seems like players get a little taller, they can jump a little higher, they run a little faster. What are your thoughts about raising the rim above 10 feet where it stands now?
That's a great question, Kevin. I don't think that's happening anytime soon, but
I can see you shaking your head and you kind of laughed at it.
I just can't see it happening.
The game is hard enough as it is right now, right? Is that what you're saying?
It is. I like your idea about making the court a little bit bigger, but 10 feet seems to be a pretty good number for where that tin sits.
About right, huh?
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Hawks.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And they'll take the win.
Oh!
Yeah. That is not possible. What we just, is that possible?
I think it is, Greg. Not probable, but like possible, like you said. They need to stop this run.
You know what, Kev? I think it's time to switch some things up, either by going to your bench or with a different look defensively to disrupt their rhythm.
Baker passes to Noah. There's Baker. Pulls from the top of the key. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Here's Babbitt. Knicks with the rebound.
And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, maybe lazy play calling or just going through the motions on that possession. This often leads to a bad shot.
Yeah, tremendous hustle just to get a hand on that one.
Anticipation, reads the play all the way. So close to a steal.
Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for the Knicks. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Delaney's checked in. Atlanta calls timeout. They're up. There's 31 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Guys, what do you think?
And guys, just avoid the unnecessary fouls here. That's about the only thing that can get them in trouble at this point.
And now a moment to take a look at our Jordan Player of the Game.
And his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
These fans have been stunned by his performance. Of all the players they thought might do the most damage against them tonight, his name was not high on that list. .1 second separating the shot clock and game clock.
Yeah, with this lead, that's probably going to do it. Fans heading for the exits.
Now the team came in fired up from the opening tip to see the focus, ready to do battle.
Nice shot by McDermott.
You want to pressure up on McDermott even when he doesn't have the ball. That time when he caught it, ready to shoot.
Here's Ntilikina. And here is Noah. And so Atlanta takes this one by a big margin. A resounding victory for them. And Greg, in enemy territory, no less.
And that's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And that about wraps it up. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.